not gonna sit here and fight about anymore. Guess what? I let it go. I'm not like, you are in this whether it is good or bad. Whether it is good or bad.
It is well known that Johnny Depp is suing Amber Heard for defamation over a 2018 Washington Post op-ed that the Aquaman star wrote. Depp is suing Amber Heard for $50 million for an op-ed she wrote that insinuated he was a wife-beater who also sexually assaulted her. Although she did not specifically name Depp in the article, it was written after Heard filed for a restraining order against her ex-husband in 2016 over abuse allegations. Heard said she was a victim of sexual violence. Heard first took the stand Wednesday to share her side of the story, claiming the Edward Scizzor Hands star had beaten and threatened to kill her when he abused drugs and alcohol. Johnny Depp, however, refutes this claim and says that it was Heard who was the abuser.
If the drinking doesn't get you into trouble, the women definitely will. I thought maybe you were a mermaid.
I'm from Connecticut.
Now, I'd like to share with you that as a counsellor for many years, men can be victims of domestic violence, and so can women. So it is difficult in all this to really be the judge and jury. Let's face it, Depp is a long-time love star and Amber a new Aquaman star, so it is easier to believe Depp than Amber. However you be the judge, what do you think? Put your comments below.
How you doing? Good evening.
Know how it feels to have a 5'4" woman reach up and punch you in the face.
Hi, my name is Timo, and my girlfriend be whooping my ass.
I know how it feels to want to just put your hands around the throat of a 120-pound woman and just choke the life out of her because she won't shut the fuck up.
I mean, like, this is the crazy part, y'all. Like, she don't never beat me up when I'm up. She wait till I go to sleep. Somebody be hitting me, and I wake up and I don't be seeing nobody.
But I'm here to let you guys know that that's not the answer. Here at Abused Anonymous, we never put our hands on a lady. Say it with me.
We know that Johnny definitely used drugs. Drugs such as ecstasy, cocaine, mushrooms, and legal prescription drugs, while also drinking alcohol. I mean, this is certainly a deadly combination to induce paranoia and violence. However, again, yes, Depp smashed things when he was in a state of anger, but does that mean he also punched Amber numerous times, slapped her face repeatedly, ripped out her hair and threw objects directly at her, and did a disgusting cavity search and raped her with a bottle she thought was broken? Not even Johnny Depp is saying that he does not go into rages and smash things. However, repeatedly he says he has never hit a woman, and he also did not hit and abuse Amber.
In all the years I have known Johnny, he has never been physically abusive with me, and this looks nothing like the man I lived with for 14 wonderful years.
Of course, we know that Depp himself called Amber fat ass. This is a definite example of an emotionally abusive comment.
L'amour de votre vie, c'est aussi votre meilleur ami. Et que, parce qu'on dit toujours les premiers mois, les premières années, l'amour, la passion, puis après ça s'en va ou quoi.
How many more such comments were made to Amber? Is Amber being less believed and the true victim of emotional abuse, or are they equally abusive? Vanessa Paradis, Depp's ex-wife, who was with him for about 15 years, as you saw, said that not once had Depp abused her. There are also witnesses who worked for Depp that also say that they had never seen Depp be abusive and certainly did not see Amber with any bruises on her face or her body.
Sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, even a lot of fights been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you have a closed fist.
You get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not deck you. I was hitting you.
You can't
I don't know
deck
what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are your toes?
What am I supposed to do? Do this?
How are your toes?
I'm not sitting here about it, am I? You are.
Oh,
that's the difference
you
between me and you. You're a baby.
Because you start physical fights?
You're such a baby!
Because you start physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had to get out of there.
Yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You're admirable. Every single time. What's your excuse when there's not a physical fight? Then what's the excuse there? You're still being admirable, right? Just by running away. And you can sit here and call me names, but you get called a name, and what do? That's the last insult. You're a baby. You're a hypocrite. You don't do anything that you actually do. You expect from people what you can't give them. If they do something, a taste of it to you, you lose it. But yet you dish it out.
I left last night, honestly, I swear to you. Because I just couldn't take the idea of more physicality, more physical abuse on each other.
One of Depp's witnesses testified and said he saw Amber once close her fist and hit Johnny in front of him. These are all the things that become confusing in this trial. Then we also see Depp's angry display in the bar where he's throwing things around and yelling. It's very confusing. Who is telling the truth and who is embellishing or diminishing the truth through inaccurate versions of the actual truth? I'm trying to be the devil's advocate. In the recording of Depp and Heard, you hear Heard admitting to hitting him and starting the physical fights. It is obvious that Johnny tries to escape this, and this is what she calls running away. Interestingly, he also says right at the end of that recording that he runs away because he doesn't want more physicality and abuse towards each other. Now think about this. Perhaps Depp has tried to escape, and yet the constant running after him and continuing the fight has led to Depp trying to push her away or grab her in anger or even completely losing it and striking her across the face. It seems in this recording Depp does show that he is not the type of man who wants to become physical with a woman and hurt her. Depp was a wonderful husband once, and perhaps the combination of ecstasy, cocaine, marijuana, mushrooms, alcohol and prescription drugs did make him the devil that Amber accuses him of being behind closed doors. Much abuse is hidden by both women and men, and no one is any the wiser to it because the perpetrators keep it quiet. It is even harder for men to report domestic violence, for often men are not believed. This is because most domestic violence that we have heard of is perpetrated by men towards women. They're supposed to be the tough, strong man in the relationship. I found it really interesting how Depp says in the recording, "How are your toes?" In that moment, I thought of the time when Depp was on the stand. He said how he was having a shower and trying to get away from the fight when Amber kept on banging on the bathroom door. He said he opened it just a little because he knew what would happen if he opened it right up and let her in. And as she tried to push it open, he accidentally got her toes. He heard her cry in pain, he said, and so he knelt down to see if she was okay. He said when he did this, she hit him. This is something very important, I believe, in his testimony, and shows that by nature, Depp is not a wife beater. Even in that moment when he thought he had hurt her, he bent over to see if she was all right. Then it seems when Heard is telling him she did not punch him and only slapped him on the tape that we were listening to, he suddenly stops and quietly asks her how her toes are. This really stood out to me because it corroborates his story that he told on the stand. It also shows that Depp was concerned about her toes and the fact that he may have hurt her. Amber, however, in that moment mocks him, instead of realising that in that moment that we hear in the recording, he's trying to stop the argument and is actually concerned by asking her how her toes were. In some way, I felt by his voice that he actually felt bad that he had hurt her. This is not characteristic of a man that repeatedly punches someone in the face over and over again and puts a bottle up her vagina. So in this fight, we hear Depp saying he doesn't want to have a physical altercation with Amber, and Amber admitting that she actually did slap him, and it looks like she must have closed her fist for him to say it was a closed fist. So perhaps we have to look at the fact that maybe Amber starts the physical fights And Depp actually tries to get away, and there is a lot of grabbing and pulling and shoving, and he's a man who really doesn't want to hurt a woman, and so he runs off to the bathroom, or he runs off to a bedroom. Now, what he does say is very interesting at the end in that clip, and he says, "I get away because I do not want to have any physical abuse on each other." So he's taking ownership also that he's abusive. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he starts it. Maybe Amber is the one who starts it. And Depp, as anyone probably would, reacts, tries to run off, and the worse she gets, the more he reacts. Maybe he tries to shove it, pull it away, or on occasion he may lose it and slap her in the face. So Amber definitely has some untruths to her story, especially when we heard Depp's conversation on a phone recording where he was calm and quiet and accusing Amber Heard of abusing him, and the fact that he continually ran into the bathrooms and other locations in the house to get away from Amber to escape what he called a bloodbath, and what he also called physical fights, or simply pushing her away from him to just get away from that fight turning into what he called a bloodbath. This is certainly what it says in the recording. However, did Depp record this when he was calm or in a rage? We also hear Amber on a recording admitting to slapping Depp. She repeatedly says that she did not punch him and says she slapped him instead. So what do you think? We're interested in what you think, so leave a comment below. And don't forget, if you like our channel, subscribe, like and share, and we will do more. Bye.